Hi everybody, it's Erin from Epapery. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am continuing my journey on making some charm items, small little charm items for my upcoming road trip so that I can work on creating some dangles while I'm traveling in the car. So what I've got here are some scrap pieces of mat board. And I'd watched a video recently where somebody had used some thin cardboard like this. And what they were doing was stacking this, 3 or 4 layers deep, gluing all of the layers together, and then putting in order to make it really thick. And that's awesome. If this is what you've got, go ahead and do that. But what I've got are these pieces of mat board that I can use. So why not? It might be less trouble for me to use this than it would be to use the other stuff. So let's give it a whirl. So one of the things I thought I might use is some of my vintage postage stamps. I've got several of these that are the same stamp so that I could put one on each side. So there's a pair of purples. Okay, I've got 9 pairs of stamps sorted out, and 9 seems to be my magical number for these, for my charm making. So all of these are the real deal vintage stamps, so I'm just gonna, these will be fun. I'm gonna set my little pairs aside here. I've got some different colors, a couple of blues, a purple, a red, a teapot, one from, this is Nippon? I have no idea. Somewhere in Asia, and then a couple sets of brown, just because we like neutral. So that's what we're going to work with. So I'm going to bring out my paper cutter. I'm not convinced this is going to make it through the mat board, but we'll see. So I'm going to take this first set and I'm going to see what size paper or what size little thing I need, and this looks to be like a 1-inch square piece would work for this. So I'm going to cut out 2 pieces that are 1 inch by inch, if I can. Yep, this should work. There we go, back and forth a little bit. Blade couldn't quite make it there, so, and then 1 inch. I'm going to make a couple more inch size because these look to be the same size. These look to be the same size. These look to be the same size. So 1, 2, 3 more pieces. So those are all going to be perfectly sized for all of these, all of those ones. So these are ones that are going to be a little bit different. So, okay, 1 inch wide by 1.25 inches for this one. Score this, or get the first cut and then finish it off with my X-Acto knife. I'm going to take my emery board and just kind of file the sides a little bit just to make sure that they're all nice and smooth. You can, if you want, just kind of distress the corners a little bit, round those so they look a little bit more worn, like that. So, and that'll help. Take a little scissors to this one here in my mess. So this is going to create little shavings from the board, so, and it's going to depend on what the mat board's made out of. If it's rag board or paper board, the shavings might look a little bit different, but expect to see some paper shavings. And just a very little bit of this, I think, is going to go a long way. And I'm still going to distress the edges, but I think just being able to kind of get this quickly colored, get the edges. This is also going to help seal the edges because the base of the stain is glue. Matte board it's a laminated, not laminated in that it's, you know, plastic, but laminated in that it's several layers of material glued together. And so when you're doing what I was doing with it, cutting it up kind of roughly and then filing it and stuff like that, sometimes the little layers can start coming apart. So just making sure that those layers kind of get stuck back together is good. And this stuff dries really quickly. It's one of these days I'll make it for you in a video so you can have the recipe. This was based on a recipe that, I don't know if she still does videos. Honestly, I haven't seen her channel update in a long time, but maybe she still does. Jersey Joe Junk Journals or something like that. But she made her own coffee stain. Her recipe is a little bit different from mine, but I watched her make hers and then I kind of did my own thing based on her recipe. But majority, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing and whatnot. But it's basically just clear Elmer's glue. I think she used like clear Eileen's or something like that. But I use clear Elmer's coffee to whatever consistency and color you want, and then add vanilla for some additional color, and also it just makes it smell nice. And it really does. It makes it smell very nice. And you don't have to buy expensive vanilla. I just bought cheapo dollar store stuff. But it is a handy little stain to have. I picked these jars up. I pick them up when I find them at Goodwill or any other thrift store I'm at. If you find these ones with the gasket and the clip on them, they're always great for stains and stuff like that, if you work with stains. I've made myself a few different colors. I bought some distress reinkers and used those as colorant for the stain. And so that worked out really well as well. You could also use, I think, food color. I think you could probably also use like watercolor from the tube. I haven't tried that yet, but I'd be willing to if you guys are interested in seeing me experiment with that. I love art lab experiments, just seeing if I can get something to work with certain materials. One I want to try, I actually saw it on a recent Graphics Fairy blog, on making your own gilding paste. They kept calling it wax, but there's no wax in it, so I don't think you can really call it wax, but it would be like your own gilding paste. And I've got the materials to do it. I would be using Elmer's instead of Eileen's as a glue base for it. I think I can achieve the same results with what I've got in the studio. And if I can get it to work with the Elmer's, then I would have a helpful comment to leave on their blog, which they may or may not appreciate. I don't know. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments. I really love it when you guys take the time to comment. I know it's a time investment for you, but it just really helps us out so much. And also giving the video a thumbs up. You know, if you've ever, if you imagine, you know, putting your heart and soul into a little project and then presenting it to people and the audience did absolutely nothing, they just stared at you. Nobody clapped or made a comment or, you know, anything. That's kind of what it's like when you're a YouTube content creator and you're like, you put your little project out there for the world to see and like nobody says anything. Like, and I'm not necessarily looking for like praise or anything, but I would really like some feedback. Just, you know, do you like what you see? Would you like to see something different? Do you have ideas for us? Do you have anything to add to the discussion? Would you like to just say hi? You know, whatever. I don't care. You know, some interaction from the audience is great and is well appreciated. Trust me. So anyway, so just kind of washing out my brush here because these are going to need to dry. I keep water in a little mason jar until it's grody, and then I go wash it out and get another one. So I'm going to dry these. All right, there we go. I really think that was probably, like, if it was a minute, I'd be surprised. But they're all you know, maybe not fully dry, but dry enough for me to turn them all over and paint the other sides down. And my studio smells like roasted vanilla. So we've got our, let's see, got all of our little pieces here. These are our 1 inch, let's see, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. And then this one was the one that was for that. And then these other two. And then basically the rest of this is really just gluing the stamps on and punching a hole in and distressing the sides if you want. So let's get an inky out in case I want that. I want a little vintage photo. Just kind of do that. And then maybe a little ink just to get the edges like that. I mean, they're not like perfectly black. They're still kind of distressed, but I do kind of like the way that looks. Let's see how it looks once I'm struggling with whether I want to distress the edges of the stamp, and I don't think I want to, because I think that'll age on its own over time. So I'm using art glitter glue to adhere the stamp to the board, and I'm putting a fair amount of glue on because I want it, you know, want it to be down, but I'm not going all the way to the edges, because once I squeeze this, it will, I'm cheating it down towards the bottom, and I move my little thing, but once I start doing that, that glue makes it all the way out to the edges. Like that. That looks cool. Okay, so flip, make sure you got both the right ends up. And again, I'm cheating this towards the bottom of the board, so that it leaves a little bit more room at the top for the hole. There we go. Next, this is the smallest hole punch I have, and it's not as strong as a crocodile would be, but I'm going to try this one, and if this doesn't work super well, then I'll use the crocodile, but that worked okay. I didn't get it centered, but that worked good for the mat board, so I think we'll keep using this. I'll just do a better job of centering everything from here on out. So let's move on to another one. I am going to do this time the pink one. I'll do, you know, one more in slow motion, or, you know, real time, and then I'll put you guys in time lapse while I finish up the rest of these, and we'll take a look at the finished product at the end. So I'm just going to take my ink pad and just kind of drag the edges, and remember I rounded those corners, so I'm going to just grab that little corner as well. So provides a nice little black frame. All right, and So this one, because it fills the space up and down, but not as much side to side, I'm going to cheat it to one side so that maybe I can put the hole in the corner. Maybe. Or maybe I'll just center it and it'll be what it is. Because I think centered looks better in this case. So I'm going to still center it just as best I can. So. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Centered, straightened, squeegeed. Okay. Looks good. Make sure this end up, flip, stamp this end up. And center. The black accent looks nice too, especially for these ones that have the postmark on them. It kind of brings that black back in, so that's nice. So there we go. That looks nice. I am going to put the hole in the corner of this one. Like that. Like that looks cool. All right. All right, I'm going to send you guys into time lapse now while I finish the rest of these up, and I'll talk to you at the end of the video. they are ready to go. I can put these on a bulb pin, or I can add these to another sort of dangle or charm. They've got a little bit of drying left to do, but that'll just happen overnight and we're good to go. All right, did you like this project? Would you like to see more? Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment down in the description, and if you are liking this content, you like paper crafting, you like mixed media, you like junk journaling, you like fine art, painting, Zentangle, whatever, consider subscribing, because we have some fun here. I try and release content at least once every week. Mom also likes to throw a video in every now and again. So everybody have a great rest of your day. All right, bye.